and you're live.
There was no audio.
What audio do you want? Open it on your phone. 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 Test. Open it on your phone. Test.
Oh, I did hear it there.
Okay.
Okay.
Test.
Oh, I did hear it there.
Okay. Test.
Okay. Oh, I did hear it there.
Test.
Okay, you said it's only gonna show this window, because I have to double check that we're okay to stream.
Test.
Okay, you said it's only gonna show this window, because I have to double check that we're okay to stream.
Test.
Okay, you said it's only gonna show this window, because I have to double check that we're okay to stream.
Test.
Okay, you said it's only gonna show this window, because I have to double check that we're okay to stream.
Test.
Okay, you said it's only gonna show this window, because I have to double check that we're okay to stream.
Test.
Okay, you said it's only gonna show this window, because I have to double check that we're okay to stream.
Test.
Okay, you said it's only gonna show this window, because I have to double check that we're okay to stream.
Test.
Okay, you said it's only gonna show this window, because I have to double check that we're okay to stream.
Test.
Okay, you said it's only gonna show this window, because I have to double check that we're okay to stream.
Test.
Okay, you said it's only gonna show this window, because I have to double check that we're okay to stream.
Test.
Okay, you said it's only gonna show this window, because I have to double check that we're okay to stream.
Test.
Okay, you said it's only gonna show this window, because I have to double check that we're okay to stream.
Test.
Okay, you said it's only gonna show this window, because I have to double check that we're okay to stream.
Test.
Okay, you said it's only gonna show this window, because I have to double check that we're okay to stream.
Test.
Okay, you said it's only gonna show this window, because I have to double check that we're okay to stream.
Test.
Okay, you said it's only gonna show this window, because I have to double check that we're okay to stream.
Test.
Okay, you said it's only gonna show this window, because I have to double check that we're okay to stream.
Test.
Okay, you said it's only gonna show this window, because I have to double check that we're okay to stream.
Test.
Okay, you said it's only gonna show this window, because I have to double check that we're okay to stream.
Test.
Okay, you said it's only gonna show this window. Okay, sorry. Does it sound better now? Oh, sorry. I'm so sorry, everyone. You can still hear me. Okay. All right.
Okay. Okay. Just gonna double check. Okay to stream. Oh, oops. Nope, that's not what I... Oh, sorry. Sorry. Oh. Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay. Sorry. Okay. Is it working now? Okay. Amazing. Wonderful. Hello, everyone. After a few technical difficulties, this is Eli, your resident QTM Netrunner lover. So, yeah, we're watching a Fight Night game with Wentagon versus Utati. I am seeing PD versus Lat, which, you know, it's a great, it's an interesting matchup because I feel like, well, PD is almost like, it's almost like tech for Lat, you know, because of the hand size stuff and like, you know, the idea, like, you know, and it's Shaper versus PD, and Shaper, like, once you're like mid game and Shaper's got all the stuff out, there's very little you can do. But this seems like it's still early game, so, you know, it could go either way. Okay. Yeah. Let me just zoom in a little bit and see if that helps. Okay. 6 people watching. All right. Can everybody tell me if it looks good? Let me see if I can just zoom in a little bit more. Okay. So yeah, we got here, it's just Hedge Fund and Rashida. And then we got 2 cards in the remote. Tranquility, Gatekeepers on the board. Pretty easy for Lat to deal with. So I think right now the question is, you know, do you need to challenge that remote or not? And I don't know. I don't think you necessarily need to, but I feel like the fact that you can and that the Gatekeeper is already 0 strength makes it, like, you know, fairly easy. Let me just, depending on if it's Managarm, 2 very different lines. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Oh, let me see. Okay, my volume is low. Let me see if, My fiance is the one who helped me. I don't know if there's a way to change it. Like, I think it might be at the maximum at this point. I could just try to talk louder. That might help. Okay. The ice is a pop-up window, too. It's free real estate. Yeah. All right, so we got a pinhole. That seems reasonable. I mean, at least like either you worst comes to worst, you just see what the agenda, so you know which one. Okay, so that's void. That's good shot. So now it's like there's no reason not to go after it. All right, drafter, pretty easy. Well, what do we got in the bin right here? Because you can do some funky SMC. What is it? You put the SMC out to get the first one. Ooh, and then you do the simul chip with the second ice. Love it. Love it. You have so much money right now. So then you, of course, have your valid target afterwards because you've already used it. Or, yeah. Because that's... I mean, I think you need to do it in the next paid ability window, but like either way it nets out. But yeah, still pretty cool. Technically that's what you need to do, but yeah, good move, solid play. But now you're at 0 credits, but you know, you got your CAS, you're fine. This is PD's not gonna trash your CAS, or I don't know. Yeah, I mean, this is a fairly this is, you know, two good players playing a good game. Yeah, like Ox said, like going to low credits probably a little dangerous, but I feel like you're okay. Like if this was versus, you know, outfit or like something where you might be worried about the cast going away, then yeah, I'd say going low credits isn't great, but I think you're all right here. Especially since you can totally just challenge the remote now. Especially, you know, you might have another overclock. You know, I think Lat's in a pretty good place right here. You know, maybe like that might be a Managarm on the server. Oh, there's already 2 overclocks gone, so I'm not sure. Oh, I know the lists are public. I should probably be able to look at the lists. Let me see if I can pull them up. Just seeing how many. Oh man, I know I had these somewhere. I had seen them. Oh, thank you to our. Ooh, let me just put that in here. So we're still looking at JNet. Apologies. I guess you can see in my browser that I have Reclaim up. I don't know if anybody was watching the AMT yesterday, but I was remarking on how Reclaim is still legal. But, okay. So just looking at... So Lat has 1 pinhole. Ooh, yeah, okay. So the ADT score, that... ADT is not the worst, honestly. I mean, it is kind of annoying, but like I said, it's like you didn't really need to challenge that, and it's like I think you're all right for now. Because then you can just trash everything out of the remote, and now the corp's on low credits, so and Hagen's not too bad. So yeah, obviously taking the Seamless back to hand, and yeah, I feel like, you know, even though Utati is ahead, you know, with Shaper, it's just like I would be sort of frustrated at this point. And yeah, since it is the what's it called? The deep dive Swift Lat, it's like you're fine at 2 points because you can go from 2 to 7 pretty quick. yeah. So I think. I did get the list. So thank you though. If you had posted a link, I can't see it, but yeah. So this might be the deep dive turn. But oh wait, no, never mind. There's only one click left. So, but yeah, I think you can probably close out the game. You know, at this point, I think, especially with only one ice on R&D. Yeah, it's like against. I feel like against Shaper, Ikawa push here is scary. Yeah, ooh, especially with 2 upgrades in the remote. What's been gone so far? So there was one. I believe the Anoetic was shuffled back in. So this could be like Mana Garmin Anoetic, which would be pretty bad. So I think Utate's playing the odds here. Either that R&D won't cough up 5 points, or just that Wentagon doesn't have enough clicks or credits to get in. Because you still need to get your... stealing Ikawa this turn would be really hard. This turn, I think you do need to challenge the remote if you don't have Deep Dive in hand. So, I mean, the Swift still helps. I am assuming this list, let me double check. The list has, so yeah, you have 3 overclocks. So still like overclocking the remote with like SMC, you know, even if there's like Anoetic, you can still like get out your, I can't remember what it's Cleaver? Lists are right in front of me and I'm like, oh, what is it? Yeah, Cleaver. So you get out your Cleaver for cheap. And then like when they do the Managarm Anoetic, then you just like, then you like try to trash them and then go back in and then hopefully have enough clicks left. But like, that's assuming you have overclock in hand. Like, I think it very much depends on what you have in hand at this point. Cause it's like, you know, if it's the overclock in hand, you probably try to go after the remote. If it's the deep dive in hand and the like dirty laundry, well, I guess you could still, I don't know, like if you have like deep dive and dirty laundry in hand, then obviously you go for the deep dive play. But if you do have overclock in hand, you can still theoretically get into the remote. But yeah, and Baya Bands, I don't think we've seen any Baya Bands yet. It's 1 Baya Bands, right? And then there's, how many left? You get 2 Baya Bands left. So that would also help if you don't have the right cards in hand. So you just Baya Bands on archives. But yeah, it's a very precarious position here. I feel like I've been in this position versus PD and it's much worse if you're Sable, because as Sable, you don't even have the money to get into the server. So it's like, you're just sort of, you're probably shit out of luck no matter. Because I remember I think it was during CBI, it was like I had a match versus PD that was like, it just came down to it because the Corp just couldn't get the win out. But yeah, WonderCon obviously taking the time to think it out, figuring out the best line. You know, and again, it largely depends on what your hand looks like. You know, like theoretically, you might even be able to go for the deep dive play and then go on server 1. But that's probably unlikely. And then like, depending on what's on R&D, that might also be a problem. But I think the biggest question here is Cleaver. Like, obviously Shaper has a lot of ways to get out Cleaver, but depending on how expensive that is, it may or may not be the easiest thing to do. Okay, so we're just going on R&D. Presumably this is the deep dive play, and we're just seeing what's on R&D first. Because if that's, I mean, I don't, like, again, I don't know what's in there. Okay, so that's a Brawn. That's actually a pretty good play there, because I think in this case, I don't know if there's anything in archives. Oh, actually, this is actually a really good play, because the install a piece of ice is not that good because it means if you install something from there's nothing in archives, and then if you install something from HQ, that's one less anoetic opportunity, right? And now Utati's on 4 credits, so it's a little bit more difficult. So that's actually a really good play there. Like, even if they have like the Dirty Laundry in hand, I think, well, that might mean they don't have either Baya Bands or Dirty Laundry, and it might just be an overclock. So yeah. Okay, so Tati did install something from HQ, so that might mean server 1 could be like, it could still be anoetic, but it's like you have one less anoetic here. And yeah, I think it's probably then you pivot into the overclock on the remote play. But yeah, just looking if there's anything else. So there's only one simul chip, K2CP. I don't know if K2CP is that relevant here, because once you install Cleaver, Hagen is at 3. Yeah, so it's one simul chip in the bin. So it's like the question here is, how are you getting your Cleaver out? Oh, yeah. Okay. There you go. I didn't even see that there. That's cool. That's a card I haven't seen in a while. Yeah, Compile. That's how you get the Cleaver out. Compile is a card I have not seen this in a while. I think I had seen this being played, but yeah, it's basically a better test run because, well, it's less expensive. But yeah, what is the difference between test run and compile? Oh, right. It's because Compile's a run event. Yeah. So it is kind of like a better test run. It's like, you know, SMC in a can. But yeah. Yeah, 4 cards, but you need 3 to score. Oh yeah, that's the other thing here. So Tati's got, oh, you know what? This is actually this is not too great for Tati, I don't think. Just because, well, I don't know. I think it might be a bluff here. I think just because the number of credits, Managarm's a little harder. But yeah, it's because you only get like 1 anoetic here. But yeah, and of course the Cleaver coming out. Cleaver is really easy to break Hagen. But yeah, this is what happens when you don't see the list. You just are like, oh man, Compile. Yeah, but it's a good card. It's a good card. Like I said, I haven't seen it in a while, but I think pivoting to Compile makes sense with these Swift lat lists. Just because it's like, it's just another, you don't always have enough clicks to install your SMC, you know, it might be too expensive. So yeah, Compile's pretty cool. Okay, so you get into the Gatekeeper, easy peasy. Now let's see what's going on here. So Wentagon can either do double clicks or 5 credits for Managarm, but you probably want to do the double clicks just because it might be Ikawa. Although, it might not even be Ikawa. Ooh, is my virus? And Rashida, yep. But now you're server 1. I mean, that's a pretty good play there for Utati, you know. There's a good bluff there. But yeah, I think it's like once you see that Brawn res, it's like, well, I kind of gotta challenge Therma. Because then it's like, if you get the Rashida out, then it's like, you know, you just get your Rashida credits. That's annoying. Not being able to trash the Tranquility here is also like frustrating, but I think, yeah, it's a little tougher right now, but you know, I think Wentagon can still pull it out. Yeah, I think Tranquility is such a, it's like Tranquility is basically like having ETF. It's like, I mean, it's better. Like you get credits or cards. So yeah, it's like not being able to trash the tranquility is really annoying, but you know, you kind of have to do it there. But yeah, I think, yeah. I think right now, again, it's going to be a little, it's going to be a little rougher here. What does compile say? Let me search your site for install, ignoring all costs. When the run ends, program to the bottom of your stack if it is still installed. Shouldn't the cleaver have gone on the bottom? Wait. Oh, I see. Okay, never mind. It was compiled to install the SMC to install the cleaver. My bad. Yeah. Not the cards I needed there. Yeah. That was a really good play there by Utati. I think if it hadn't been Braun on R&D, I think Wentagon probably would have tried to go for the deep dive play just because it's a little easier. But again, it's like versus PD, it's, you know, that could be the win right there. But it's not. All right. So Wentagon's still going there. But yeah, unfortunately, the deep dive is a little less. It's kind of harder to do. Yeah, I saw they threw out the deep dive. Very sad. But yeah, you probably, if it had been like anything else, I think you would have tried for the deep dive. But Braun is just so expensive. And now you also have a second thing. All right. So at least now you're like in a better position because potential game is not on the table. All right, so you got DJ Steve coming out. Pretty good here. Probably gonna get back overclocks, I assume. Yeah. Or you can even just get back the deep dives. How many deep dives is it? 3 deep dives, so you probably don't even need the deep dives, but you can get back anything here. Oh, Pinhole's probably a good DJ Steve pull. All right, Dirty Laundry HQ. Yeah, just shred through Gatekeeper here. It's still pretty good, you know, it's 2 to break, not too bad. All right, so what are we gonna get? I think Pinhole is probably a good choice here. Although that might be an agenda, so maybe overclock. So we'll just have to see. Fortunately, just noticing that Wintcom probably should have clicked for a credit first, but you know, I think, well, yeah, just one short of a potential Ikawa, but I think they might be trying to challenge the remote then. Because, well, Tati's on a lot, so that might be a Braun, but yeah, I think it's just sometimes with like when you're getting desperate against PD, it's easy to not remember that. But yeah, I think though, like sometimes it's just like you wanna. I mean, this also might just be indicative of a deep dive play because you could also just take the deep dive if you don't have one in hand. But I think it's probably either Pinhole or overclock. Yeah. There you go. I didn't show what the choices were. I'm not paying attention. Oh, I assume it was overclock versus overclock. Yeah, overclock's a good choice. Actually, it shows you the options, but Apologies if I'm being Jane inept here, but yeah. Okay, so yeah, then overclock the remote. You got enough money. Ooh. That's not what you want to see. Oh, yeah. So here it's like, at least you only have to break one. Well, yeah, it's 2 subs, but you're on Cleaver anyway. I mean, it's still pretty cheap to get through everything. But yeah, you're kind of, yeah. Unless you have another overclock in hand, maybe? I don't know. Maybe. Probably not. I mean, it still is pretty cheap to get into server 1. I think Brawn would have been much worse. But border control is still really annoying. Yeah. So let's see. Yeah, using border control to end the run. And then I think you have to go back in. I mean, you don't have to, but I don't know. Utachi's had a lot of moves where it's like Wendigon just ends up going down to like 0 or very few credits. So this could just be another bluff. But I think at this point in the game, it's like, yeah, Wendigon pointing out if that's Ikwa, I am cooked. Yeah. It's a rough spot here for sure. But I think, yeah, there's not really that much you can do. I mean, you could go for HQ, but I think, I mean, challenging the remote could be bad. Could be anything. Yeah, could be another Mavirus. Or could it be another Mavirus? I don't know. So how many Mavirus you have? You got 2 Mavirus. Another Mavirus would be funny, though. If it's not, I don't think I can afford to go that low on money. So time to pray. Yeah, I think that's valid there. Just not going after it. Because it's like, if it's Ikwa, you can't steal it. So your only chance is just not to go after it. So it looks like it's not. Otherwise you, oh. Okay, no, it is off. Which isn't that bad, but still very frustrating. So, question here and then. Yeah, Itachi's still got all that money, so R&D's not looking so great. I think K2CP, what is that? It's +2? Let's go for a nice clean 9 points. Yeah. K2CP is only 2 strength, right? Yeah, it's only 2 strength, so it's like, it's not much you can do against Brawn here. Because that's the problem. There's no other real tricks to do that. But yeah, I think you kind of, yeah, I think just going after HQ. I mean, again, at least you're not in a game Corp could win position here. But let's see. So I think, yeah, just going after HQ, seeing what's in there, not letting them get away with anything, potentially getting your another overclock back. It's a real Steve trigger. Doesn't show me which. I guess I gotta wait. It's just a spectator here. Okay. Add compile from the heap. Remove pinhole. Interesting. What does compile get you? It's just SMC getting the K2CP. I don't know if What does compile get you? I guess, oh, Pichichow. Yeah, Pichichow. So I guess it's the Pichichow play. So, okay. So yeah, so just installing card in server 1. Another ice on the good old remote. We'll just have to see. I think just like realizing that Pinhole is not going to do much since there's so much ice on the remote anyway. So, yeah, I mean the compile is probably a setup for. Oh wait, you already have the Pichichow in archives. So I guess it's going for the excuse me, K2CP. I guess it does do like a little bit against Brawn. It's still not, you know, as much as you'd like. But is it K2CP? Yeah, because that seems to be the only one. I don't know. I think I guess it's hard to do overclock versus like anything else. You could have probably done maybe like Sure Gamble versus Sure Gamble there. But yeah, I haven't really played this, so I don't know what the lines with compile usually are. But I guess K2CP does help. Like it saves you what, 4 credits with Cleaver. So that's not insignificant. And that could, you know, and it could be another gatekeeper on R&D, or could it? Yes, it could be another gatekeeper, could be MIC. So I think just like, you know, it's the one card you don't have. So here you had Dirty Laundry versus Dirty Laundry. Reasonable play. Yeah. Not being able to trash that Tranquility before is kind of rough. But you know, you make the plays you can. But I think this is definitely time for a time for the deep dive. Alright, so you get your Dirty Laundry on archives. You can still win this one. And then I assume it's going to be compile on R&D. Maybe something else. Might be the 3rd overclock. Yeah, there's still one more overclock hanging around somewhere. So 3rd overclock isn't the worst thing. Yeah, I think, and then, but I mean, all right, I assume this deck only has 1 border control. Yeah, it's only 1 border control, so I think like the worst thing there is probably MIC. And then if they get rid of that MIC, you can always just go back into R&D at some point anyway. You just have to make sure you install the Pichichow on Bran. Otherwise you could just lose it and it doesn't go back to your hand. Or maybe you want to lose it. I don't know. I think that's a 2nd simul chip, so you wouldn't be able to get it back. So yeah, you would probably just want to make sure you install the Pichichow on Brawn. This is like one of these games where it's like, you know, it still could go either way. I mean, the Swift Lat is really interesting just because it's like you have options for either remote lock versus deep dive. Damn, I think I once again need that not to be an agenda. Yeah. Yep. I'm once again asking PD to not have agendas. Oh, yeah. Unfortunate. But, you know, it's only so much you can do. But yeah, I guess the deep dive wasn't. Yeah, Brawn as the outermost would have been tough. I don't know. I think he could have still. I mean, I guess they just didn't have deep dive in hand. Yeah. Sad we didn't get to see any deep dives, but yeah, it's yeah. I draw my turbine was hoping. Oof. Yeah, that's rough. Drawing the cards that you want to tutor out, always rough. But yeah, I think there might be another game we're streaming. Let me just double check. This game's over. I may jump in. Oh, yeah, swap games. So I assume gotta see second game. Alright, second game. Sorry. Anything looked weird? Alright, so now we got Hoshko versus PD. Again, everybody loves PD. He is a terrific athlete. But yeah, PD's good right now. PD's good versus Hosh. Clearly PD's good versus Lat. You know, I feel like Shaper has always been hard for HB in general with the remote lock, but like so many defensive upgrades now, because back in the day it was really just Ash and Caprice, and now you got like way more certainty with stuff like what's it called, why is my brain forgetting me out, Anoetic and Managarm. More certainty there. I can hear you. I don't know if the stream can. Everything's like maximum volume right here. Sorry. Oh man, I can just. Yeah, chat. Can you hear our anonymous friend? Or am I also just unhearable? Where are y'all at? Come on, respond. No. Oh. Yeah, it's all right. I think. Yeah, no, I have it there. I just don't know how to activate it. Oh, wait, no, I got it. I think. Let me see. Sorry. Don't. Oh man, I'm sorry. I feel I feel I feel so technologically inept. I just like okay. I'm sorry. I'll figure this out eventually. But yeah, games going on. Stuff's happening. I'm sorry. Let me just try one more thing. Desktop audio. Oh wait. Oh, I think I know what it is. No, now it just has a second. Oh, God damn it. No. Let me. Sorry, friends. Trying to add somebody else. I am. Apologies for not commentating on this game again, but yeah, it seems pretty similar to the first one, except we got Banhar. Damn it. But yeah, more border control. This looks like almost the same deck. I don't know if it is, but yeah, because it looks pretty familiar. But yeah, also playing Value Bands here. No, it doesn't. Okay, let me. Yeah, it's global audio devices. But I'm not sure which one I need to pick for desktop audio. Yeah, it's just confusing because it's like I have my headphones in, so it doesn't like add like weird reverb. Let me see if that works. Try saying something. No. I thought I had it's in advanced audio properties. No. Maybe I just need to take out my headphones. I hope it doesn't end up sounding weird. Okay. Yeah, okay. Divide and Conquer. Oh, Divide and Conquer is so cool. I love that card. It's really good with what's it called? Eru. I was thinking about that for a while, but it's hard to sort of get it to do things. Okay. Oh, here. Okay. I think. Streaming. Let me. I don't want to stop the stream because I feel like, you know, still watching is cool. I know. I just like everybody's witness to me not. Okay. Output. I don't think that's it. Oh, output. That's not. Oh man. I think. Stop audio. Maybe that works? Yeah. I'm sorry. I feel bad. Okay. Yeah. I'm sorry. I'll figure this out. My fiance might be able to figure it out. Okay, so let's get back to the game. Okay, so yeah, basically just early game still, trying to figure it out. Got the off. So yeah, it's basically I mean this is the same PD deck, but now it's Hoshiko. Hoshiko has a little more tricks than that, especially since it's playing Jacoby. But yeah, I think that and you also have Banhar, so it's like I feel like Hoshiko's a little better positioned, just because you've got a lot more tricks in terms of beating ice. You know, I'd have to look at the list to check, but I'm trying to figure out something with the obs right now. Oh, now I feel silly. Just add a source. Audio output capture. The Ryzen one is the microphone, so it wouldn't be that one. Try speaking again.
Alright, does this work?
Yes, we got it.
Oh, yes, it does work. I hope I'm not too loud compared to your voice, because I think you were a little low.
Might be able to turn it down a little.
Maybe we'll just check whether I go in the yellow or red too much.
Okay. Ooh, yes. Okay, so we can hear you.
Okay.
Yay! We figured it out.
Oh, great. Okay, so we're in the middle of this PD game, and Dorna just stole the second Ikoa.
Yeah. That's pretty So yeah,
That's a big rip.
Wentukan's gonna have a bit of a tougher time. Yeah, because it's like I said that. I mean, yeah. Also, getting sick rips helps. Not just.
I think chat is saying I'm very loud compared to you. I think you have to turn me way down.
Okay.
We'll try and get it right as the stream progresses. I'll have to kind of be.
Is that better?
Because I need to read. I have no clue. Oh, okay,
We'll see.
Okay, makes sense.
Okay.
Okay, so like many cards have been drawn now, and I would expect Corp to have drawn a couple agendas. To have one or two agendas lying around, and the runner only needs one to steal one, and the Corp needs to score 3 more. So that's clearly like uphill for the Corp.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, yeah, like I said, so even though Hoshiko doesn't have, like deep dive, it's just easier to get in. So yeah, so let's see, using border control. Not gonna use the border control.
Yeah, there's no multi-access for the runner at the moment. Like, I don't know what they. Let me look. I don't know what's there's 2 twinnings and there's 2 finalities, and one of the finalities is in the heap. So yeah, none of that is out right now. But I kind of feel like at this point you don't even need the multi-access much.
Yeah, you just gotta
like just
gotta rip it off R&D.
Steal the agendas, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Takobi allows you to get in pretty comfortably. Is this going to be it already? Skunk can be paid for.
Managarm, you can pay it. No. Just trying to get it out. But yeah. But Utachi now has the credits to trash everything and still be sort of okay.
Sort of, yes. Like the Corp needs to credit Great Hedge Fund here. Yeah. So you have a time walk.
There you go.
Keep giving us info about the volumes, friends, because we do need to know.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, I think yeah, it's gonna be a bit of an uphill battle for Wentagon. I mean, you still have cards, and like you can still go through stuff. I mean, I think one finality might just kind of hit things, but yeah, you got twinning there.
Yeah. This is good.
Yeah.
As the Corp, what is your win con from here? I think that involves an Anoetic Void, for sure.
Yeah, I think you definitely need at least one more ice on server 1, and like 1 Anoetic and 1 Managarm.
I can't believe I have to say this, but the runner has expanded both of his Light the Fire. So yeah, actually Skunk Void could be the way to close the game, because one pinhole is like the only pinhole is gone. Both Light the Fires are gone. Yeah.
I mean, you still have Banhar, which is like okay, but it doesn't stop Skunk Void. Sorry. Let me see. This is I don't know if there's a way to like turn it up any more than it already is.
I think if your mic is slow, there is little that can be done.
I mean, I've turned my mic up all the way. Maybe I just need to be closer to it.
Okay, so I think we're fine, mostly fine. Utachi deciding that he is better off without money at hand, which is interesting.
Me making the runner pay 50 credits to access a virus. This rules.
So now we have a runner without any money, only with a fermenter down. So that is a window for Wentagon to do things and try to push, like do something that is a little, forward tempo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think, at 0 credits, it's whatever. I think, yeah, the credit leads with PD are very important just because it's like, especially with like a non-mulchy Hoshko where you can't just like pay 0 for everything. I mean, again, you still have Banhar, which does some things, but it doesn't. I don't think it does enough. But I mean, you do have your rig set up, so it's still, you can still do things.
Mm-hmm.
I think not.
Yeah, the important thing is you're able to farm Takobi counters, I feel.
Yeah.
Because you need to break that brand for 2 credits, otherwise you're never going to get in like repeatedly, which you may have to do. We're running a last click here, which is a thing we have the luxury of being able to do because we saw both Ikawas early.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, oh yeah, there's only 2 Ikawas. Yeah, so that's the other thing about you're in a pretty good position here.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think, yeah, and it's like with twinning's very flexible too, so it's like you can pretty much you can go wherever you think the agendas are.
Mm-hmm. And I think we're going to see a multi-axis on HQ in this run, is my guess.
Mm-hmm.
Players, by the way, spending a lot of time to think, really taking advantage of, really making use of the untimed games here, which I do appreciate. Like, it's nice that every once in a while we have a competitive setting where players can sit down and actually think about the plays.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, and it's also a great opportunity to play those, decks that don't do well in timed matches.
Yeah, it has been asked that players pay some attention to it. Like, don't play. There's this Architects of Tomorrow deck that I don't remember how it works, but it's meant to win in like an hour or so. And so the idea was don't play games like decks like that.
Yeah.
Because that's rude. But yeah, we can be a little more leisurely with our time here. And it's great for commentators as well, because things happen at a very fast pace, and we constantly go on tangents, and then something happens.
Yeah. It looks like Wentagon's having connection issues.
Oh, okay. This is not thinking though.
Yeah. So hopefully we can get that solved, because that would really suck if like game has to stop because of internet issues.
Really hope it doesn't.
Yeah. But yeah, this alright, I think Wentagon's back.
It might be back.
Yeah. At least it wasn't like thought it was just a very powerful HQ.
We were charging a smash attack. I think we're just going to break this and get our second Takobi. Oh no, we're not breaking. We are taking the Banhar damage. Interesting, because the second Takobi counter is supposed to be very important, right?
Yeah, that's valid.
But okay, we're seeing a Maverus and the Void, both quite important accesses.
Yeah.
Losing our Fermenter money sucks, but at least we have 2 fewer cards in HQ that we can see.
Yeah, I mean, that's the other thing with Mulch is like getting back the fermenters with cookbooks. Like instant speed is also really helpful for like when you actually do need money. So
yeah, and here we don't have that opportunity, so we're just going to have to sit down and make credits for a while, I think.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Corneal
Luminal the fast way.
Yeah, I mean it's so Yeah. So Wentagon still might be able to pull this out. I mean, you still have to score 2 agendas, which is really annoying. But at least now you can set up your Doom remote, maybe put an Managarm on R&D. Yeah, because you still have 1 Anoetic and both Managarms available.
Yeah, one edit. It's interesting to me that Seamless was used because, like, if you record Seamless, you can't record the Void, and I would expect the Void to be the card that gets recurred in this situation, but maybe we do have the second one in hand right now.
Yeah.
Because, like, yeah, as we were saying, there's. Oh, okay, we do record the Void. Yeah. Maybe we have another Seamless in hand already.
Yeah.
And we're hoping to jam and install Void and do more of that.
Yeah. It's also possible. Well, yeah. Oh, there you go. I was about to say maybe Wentagon doesn't have an agenda in hand, but yeah, I think having the Void there. Yeah, it's because it's a pretty rough spot for Utati here, because whatever's, because now you only have 1 Takobi counter, and depending what's on server 1, you might not be able to farm for that second one. You might just have to take the Banhard damage, and then you won't have enough to break Brawn.
Really weird position here for Utati. Like, you're not about to lose, so that's helpful.
Right.
But you really have, like, that Mavirus, I think, really hurt. You really have to get into a position where you can contest.
Yeah.
Sort of, credibly, reliably.
Right.
And you need to be able to farm counters so you can get through the Void.
Right. And I think you would really be worried about ADT as well, because if Wentagon can either, I think getting another agenda might not be ideal, but like getting another big ice on server 1.
Another brand.
Hard. Yeah, another brand. Even, well, I guess Hagen wouldn't bad, but yeah.
Honestly, I think even if just the second piece of ice on server 1 is a gatekeeper, then that can be a disaster for Tati, because, like, if you can't contest this agenda and you let the gatekeeper be res on the next score, then you can't get in multiple times.
Yeah.
But we run now, and it's a drafter.
Yeah.
So can't quite get in, right? We can let the first sub fire on the brand, but there's a border control.
Yeah. Oh, you don't wanna let them install the border control. Yeah, that would probably.
Don't think so.
Idea.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have to challenge this, but I think if it is an ADT, then it's pretty bad.
If it's an alpha, it's also pretty bad. Like, everything sucks here. No, we're just checking out. We just wanted to make the corp spend free credits there.
Yeah,
I guess.
And that's valid.
I guess as Utati, you can maybe just go, okay, you can score this. If it's an ADT, you need to get back up in credits to be able to actually score another thing. So it's going to be a couple, like 2-3 turns.
Yeah.
And I can use those turns to charge up my twinning and then try and make like a free deep R&D run, and maybe the win speed the game.
Yeah.
Because again, Utati only needs 1 agenda, and he doesn't have to keep Ikawa money up.
Yeah.
Oh, we go now. Okay. What?
Oh,
this is so strange.
Well, how are you gonna get past the draft?
We're just going to let it fire. We're just going to give.
Wait.
Like, is there a Rashida in the bin? There is. So we're just going to give a Rashida to the corp. This is, like, I think the finality is pretty good in this matchup.
Yeah.
But it's interesting that you will just fire it right now, because you're not about to lose. There's no Hikawa for it.
Right. Yeah, I mean, this seems not necessarily risky. Adding seamless. I guess you just figure it's going to be hard to get back up to credits, and you might as well just give it a try. Well, okay.
Oh, and it's a win anyway. Okay. Like the vibes this gave me, I don't know obviously why the choice was made, but the vibes it gave me were like
Yeah.
that he forgot that there wasn't another Ikoa. I don't know.
Yeah.
That might be too uncharitable, but like it really felt like a desperation play, but
Yeah.
you're not quite desperate yet.
Yeah. I feel like that's not a play you would have made.
Why you mean me?
You're such a careful player. That's I'm saying, like, I'm not saying that was necessarily a bad play, but just like I remember watching you in that CBI match where you just were so patient and didn't even try to go for the mill.
I mean, if you can't lose, don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't have made that play, but it worked out. So
yeah, no, it worked out.
Oh, my teammate's telling me I didn't need to do the finality. LOL. Okay.
Yeah.
Everyone's assessment.
Yeah. I mean, it was just like yesterday when everyone was saying in that game versus the Ob one, it's like you could have just clicked for credits. And it's like, yeah, but where's the fun in that?
The fun is in winning. I think the players want, like, I think the idea between these players is that they are playing all of their games in sequence.
Okay.
So we have Encoder versus Second Skin, and I believe this is only a one-game match.
Okay.
So we're going to go. I don't remember what the lists are. Like, I don't remember what player plays which decks. I think this is going to be Graduark versus Sable.
Ooh.
So we're going to have some fun.
So which ones are that one? Which match is that?
It's not up yet on the tournament tab. So if I'm not mistaken, Wentagon lost both of its games, right? We had Utati winning both. So we have Team Clearingscouse 2 wins against Miss Bost. We have a chance for Miss Bost to claw back if they win all 3 remaining games, which is exciting. Let's see whether it can happen. I believe the game is up now.
Yeah.
Encoder versus Second Skin.
Okay. Which
yeah, this will be crowd work.
Which are the teams?
Team Clearingscouse versus Miss Bost.
Okay, yeah. Alright.
Clearingscouse, I suppose, is a pun that I'm missing.
Clearings. I don't. Yeah, I don't get.
We'll have the player explain it to us later on. In the meantime, we have Grudgeworker versus Sable. So Sable is kind of a canonical, like, kind of a normal list. We have 2 bankrolls, we have 2 pinholes, common stuff. And Grudgework is the list that was played at CBI.
Yeah.
We played at CBI.
Yeah.
But we got 1 Blooderworth for 1 Warroid.
Yeah, I think that's valid.
It's valid, yes.
Warroid just helps versus. I mean, I think it helps versus a lot of decks, but against like Mulcher, either in Loop or Hushko specifically, you have to give up more if you wanna trash things.
I tend to think of Warroid as a card that goes well in multiples, so I tend not to like play one, but I know that sometimes people do and it works well. So there's a series. Maybe it's not drawn this game. So it's a card you can get with Maverus. That's pretty important. And assets start going down right away.
Yeah, getting rid of the Svigator is always important.
Yeah, bankroll kind of helpful. Like there's this problem usually with criminals where they are able to trash a couple key assets at the start, but then they run out of steam and the corp does not. But bankroll is going to help with this, I think.
Yeah, because you can just keep that bankroll on and you'll know that you'll have like at least one target. And then it's like you just get that double bankroll and then you can probably you just keep going and then you take it, when you need it.
Yeah, I think it's going to provide a little bit more money to trash all of the important things.
And this deck is on 2 bones too, so it's like you get the bones down and you start trashing things with bones, and then in the meantime you just get money on your bankrolls.
Mm-hmm.
So it's pretty good.
Is this a for-me carry?
Yeah.
Yes, it is a for-me carry. Quite important to deny the mark sometimes.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's.
Also, yeah.
I think with Sable it is a little more nerve-wracking, and you can't just like take net damage as easily. So it is a little tougher, but I think that overall, but yeah, like having the bankroll and having like 2 bones is still pretty good. And this list is on, this is, I believe, this is just the bankroll Sable.
Yeah, I think this is quite similar to the UK Nats Sable.
Yeah.
There hasn't been much innovation in Crim lists.
No, I think this is pretty much the same list, right down to the 2 no free lunch, 1 Earthrise, 1 info bounty. Yeah, I think maybe there was one that had 2 info bounty. I don't know.
I find one I've seen a couple of people play 1 info bounty, and I find it confusing, but that's because I'm like an engine player, so
yeah,
I'm always like, but where's my combo?
Yeah, I think it's frustrating. Yeah, I always have trouble. Like, I know that it's the right Sable list, but I always just get frustrated because, it's like when you have 1 info bounty, if it's at the bottom of your deck, you never get it. But you might get, but I think the theory is that you might get one of your other, one-offs that are better. I personally like the Sable Carnage list with 2 twinning, just because that gives you redundancy against, like, Scape Net or just like
Scape Net. Yeah, very important meta card.
No, but like, you know what I mean. Just
no. You are right. All of the cool testing groups are on Scape Net, and there are 2 of them.
Yeah. Well, but you know what I mean. Like, I think having the redundancy is
valuable. Yes, for damage, for a lot of reasons.
Yeah. Sorry if it streamed.
Not a lot of burst econ coming from Sable here.
Yeah.
And that's a little unfortunate because you want to have the burst econ necessary so that you can keep your bankroll for a little longer.
Yeah. At least you have reason to like check the unres servers though, so it's like it doesn't feel like useless when you have to check every server.
Yeah, but I wouldn't check with fewer than like 3 credits because then
that's true.
Too likely that you can't, like, you just don't do anything. You're like, oh, okay, cool urban renewal. And but then if we do have a laundry, so
and if it's like a random Angelique, then you're like, oh.
Oops. Yeah, you took 2 damage. Okay, we have a bones.
Yeah, there's the bones. So I think you're probably going to get both Drudge and wall to wall.
I think wall to wall is pretty important, but I see that a lot of people, like, I think that there's a lot of disagreement. Like, I think we had some disagreement about how essential it was. So sometimes it just goes unchecked. Yeah. And this is going to be one of those times. We have Clearinghouse being trashed. That's important. Yeah. And
I think the other thing with wall to wall right now is it's just, I think if there was like Whoredom or something on the board, or like something that actually benefits, maybe, but like, yeah, I mean, I think getting rid of the face downs is good. Actually, for
okay. Wake up call on these bones.
Oof. Yeah. Smart play. Good play. I mean, yeah, because Hermes doesn't do much here.
Mm-hmm.
Boomer, I don't think there's a lot of good. Yeah, I think Bones is probably one of the best targets.
There's Info Bounty.
Yeah, Info Bounty too. Yeah.
Because like you're not going to be able to protect your centrals
right
that effectively that you can actually shut down the Merc engine.
But Bones is pretty good too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Bones is good at like at 6 credits. You're pretty happy to trash a Bones.
Yeah.
Ideally, as criminal, you want to like install Bones, trash 3 cards, so there isn't really any value you can lose.
Yeah.
From like nothing of note from the wake up call, but sometimes you have to do it that way. That's what happens.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I was also getting rid of like Clearinghouse. I think is always just good, because I think one thing most people who aren't as familiar with grudge work realize is that if you don't have the Rococo target on the board, it's very difficult to like use Rococo. So that the Rococo becomes vulnerable and that you could just trash it if there's no targets on the board.
Yeah.
So
and sometimes I'm okay with that. Like sometimes it's like, yeah, sure, I can have the runner spend 4 credits.
Yeah.
It's fine because then they can trash other things. But obviously, if you have counters, you want to put them to use. Okay. Ooh. We're doofing.
So second skin not really too invested in their hand. Class action.
Clearly, he doesn't believe in the power of the class set on pinhole threading.
Yeah, but
I'm getting that by the hostile here. That's brutal.
Yeah, I still think you do the two credits because it's like.
Yeah, you do, but still, like that's. I think this is the kind of play that it's subtly, like potentially something that turns the game around because the runner spent a lot of resources on this.
Right.
And then he got seriously.
Ooh.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It is also like such a hard question.
I think encoders like that's a. I don't know. I mean, I don't think you sack the bankroll here. I think that's a bit of a gamble for encoder, but it's like, I think you're in a really good place if the runner is just throwing away 9 credits.
Yeah, it's like you are not aiming to win quickly anyway.
Yeah.
Like you're not going to win 1 turn from now because you still will do CS
right.
now.
And I think
so. Yeah.
I think for second skin, not being able to really trash the wall to wall after getting them down to 0 credits is frustrating. So it's like, Hustle Architecture, great card.
We're drawing with the wall to wall rather than getting a credit. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Not gaining a credit. Yeah.
I think still in the SDS here is particularly bad because then if the Corp has a reconstruction contract in hand, they can just, encoder could just like use the Angelique expandability, and then you have one more asset that is very important to take down.
Yeah.
And we can't have that.
Yeah, I think taking the draw is probably just to get, maybe encoder really wants to get what's it called, a Bladderwort in hand. So getting the draw instead of the credit is pretty advantageous. Especially with the hostile on the board.
I think I should note there is this match which is going to, I think, be played all the way to the end. But in half an hour, there's also a Fight Club game by a QTM member, Chris Trevus. So we have to make a choice on what to follow when that time comes.
I think if I feel like we should be watching Chris's game. Even if this one doesn't finish. Well, I don't know. There's not that many people. I mean, I don't know. The stream is pretty quiet right now. We'll see what people want to do. If there's any strong opinions when the time comes. But I think I'd like to watch. Yeah. So there's the bladderwort. And installing something else. I think with 2 of your breakers down, you're a little more okay with taking a little meat or a little net. So I think this is probably the turn you want to try to just get rid of hostile architecture if you can. Because those bladderworts are just going to keep coming. Alright, doing the NFL to get some money. Get sure gamble.
Do we go for hostile bladderwort here?
Yeah.
I believe we do.
I think you can only really just go for hostile. Well, oh no, yeah, you can just go for hostile. I mean, hopefully server 10 isn't
another bladderwort.
Well, the worst case scenario here would be if it's a Rococo.
Ooh. I think we got the accesses, so that should be clear.
Coder seems to be making a decision. It's either maybe a Formicary. But yeah, Rococo might be bad just because second skin wanting to undo click. Oh, okay, so I guess not a decision.
This is interesting. Like, we're allowing to undo click. Where are we going then?
I don't know. Well, I mean, I guess it technically isn't new information, but we'll see what second skin. Maybe it was just like forgetting to do a dirty laundry or something, which wait. They should only have 2 clicks. Yeah.
Okay.
We're not official judges, but you know.
No, but we're streamers. We
Okay.
are entitled. We have the power to interfere. Yeah. I don't think this is actually right. I'm sorry.
I don't know if you. I'm confused about this situation because it's like, I feel like you did give away a little information.
Yeah, I think you weren't really really didn't necessarily have to allow the take back because you didn't res a Formicary and you didn't res a Rococo.
Yeah, I don't know.
So there was information.
Yeah, I don't know if I would have, like if it was like right away, like, oops, that was like a misclick, then maybe. But like, yeah, it's a situation where that is technically information.
Yeah. I don't assume that's like an exploit by second skin to try and sniff stuff, but
I don't
probably
think,
wouldn't allow it.
Yeah, I don't think that was like intentional. I think it was more like, oh, I didn't realize how many cards I have in hand, kind of thing. So
yeah, it was just an early anyway.
Yeah.
But the word sticking, we are taking out twinning. Which is very powerful when you can assemble something with it. I don't know if it's going to be, it was going to be super likely this game, so maybe you were fine with losing it here.
Yeah, that is another thing I get frustrated with in Sable is that if you get your twinning before you get your targets, your twinning like cards, it's really frustrating. And then like if you get your cards and then not your twinning, I mean. Yeah, in this matchup, multi-access does help if you're able to just, like, go on R&D. But if you don't get your twinning chargers, then it's a little more rough.
Yeah.
But yeah. So
I will say that board state, to me, it looks like it's kind of slowly spiraling towards the corpse control.
yeah.
Like, there isn't really much that is proactively threatening the runner, but you're getting more and more resources, and you have your style set up, you have an upgrade on your blood award, so you're going to deal, like, kind of be safe that you can deal more damage, and I expect, like, another Yearbun to be coming sort of soon.
Yeah.
And that will be the time where we actually threaten the runner and force him to interact.
And Worried is 2 cards, right?
2 cards, yes.
Yeah. So you would, like, if you don't have anything else, you would have to get rid of, like, 1 breaker. It's probably Angelique on server 9.
I would expect it to be Angelique. Yeah. If it's a Worried, it's interesting. And we are running it now. Okay, Breach?
Because you're...
I think Encoder forgot, as I always do. Yeah, I think Encoder forgot that you have to rest the Angelique in order for her to work. I think maybe there's going to be a rewind here. I'm not sure that you do have to allow it because cards were discarded, so that's information. So, but I think that's very understandable because people, like, I think Angelique is a very easy one to forget.
Yeah.
The details of, because you used to have Rysek.
Yeah, I mean,
which you didn't have to res.
You could manually fix this with, like, just -2 and then 2 meat.
Yeah, that might be better. But also, the runner gets to decide whether to trash. Yeah. And then, I mean, they see their meat damage from Angelique, and then the runner can decide whether to trash and take the 2 from hostile. Like, there's a bunch of small subtleties there.
Yeah. But I think, like...
We're just going to do this, though. Yeah.
I think in this case, it's like there's, both sides. It's like, I mean, this is always a little tricky with the amount of information and choices, so, yeah.
Yeah. Players being very sporting here, though, and just allowing these things. And that's the second blood award. There are only 2 blood awards in this list, and we have found them both.
Yeah.
So here the runner is at 1 credit with no way to really improve his economy in the very short term. So we need to somehow make money to counteract and contrast all of this stuff the corp is doing.
I think this might be a situation where you just sort of draw up and make money, because until, I mean, server 12 might be another hostile, might be a virus, but, like, if you don't run R&D or HQ, they can't res the ice. Or I assume neither of those is a form carry, because I feel like it would have been res by now.
Maybe.
But yeah, it's like you're pretty safe at this point. You can kind of relax for at least a turn. Unless it ends up being like a surprise hostile, and then
you kind of have to give the corp a couple of turns to time walk, and you'd rather there it is. You'd rather do something proactive. I genuinely think a lot of this game is coming down to the wall-to-wall providing this much gas.
Yeah.
Because I think it's drawn like 7 cards.
Yeah, like it's not the credits, it's the draw that really puts it over the top.
Ooh.
Oh man. Ooh. Yeah, this is interesting. So I suspect that's like a Warroid urban server.
Or Clearingcouse already. More like I think I will suspect Yearbun probably, yes.
Yeah. Because it's like you don't really have a lot of cards on the board on the runner side, and just not a lot of money. So it's
Mhm.
it's getting tough. I mean, if you get your second bones out, maybe it'll be a little easier. Oh no, both bones are gone.
Both bones?
Both
How
bones
did
are
the other
gone.
bones die? Oh, it was from the Angelique.
Yeah. Oof, no more bones.
Bones is over. We don't have DJ Steve in here. We don't have any way to record them.
I mean,
It's gonna be tough.
yeah. I think you can still try to maybe money up, maybe go on R&D. It's still gonna be rough though.
Yeah.
Or maybe there's something in
Isn't
HQ. HQ is always
Carpe diem.
a good option too.
It's always possible that HQ gets loaded up with agendas. Like that's something that the deck can just happen in the deck, and sometimes you just don't. Like you just pretend it's not going on.
Yeah.
We are not breaking here.
I don't know.
Deciding to stay out.
I feel like interesting. I think they're just expecting the res on HQ.
Maybe. I think the HQ is likely to cost 4, given that it was not res. Like I think it's probably BC or Hortum. Okay, we do have the renewal. We do have a bloody word damage trashing exactly the sure gamble that second skin was expecting to play.
Yeah.
That's
you know what? That's probably why is that they didn't want to break it because they wanted to be able to play the sure gamble.
Yeah, I think he wanted to click up to 5.
Yeah. There's Rococo.
That's Rococo, and now you're ensuring that crashing anything is going to have massive consequences for the runner.
Yeah.
And installing more cards. Maybe more Rococos.
Probably
really making it as painful as you can.
Yeah, probably I'm a virus just to get under 4.
Possibly, yeah. Or maybe that's a Warroid and that's enough.
Yeah.
So many options.
And there's only one Spin Doctor on the board, so getting more draw is also always a good time. Could be another Angelique too, because there's 2 in this version and there's only 1 in the bin. Yeah, I think another Doof would be help. Well, no, not right now because everything's been rezzed. Yeah, Doof doesn't help here, unfortunately. And without twinning, you can't really go after R&D, but I think maybe
multi-access here is just twinning, right?
Yeah.
There's no dive, there's Wake. But Wake looks difficult to put together right now.
I believe there's 1 Wake. Yeah.
Okay,
so Ravano.
We're going for R&D, regardless.
Yeah, I think also you don't have your Kurapira, so that might be a problem if this is like a Sandstone or Border Control. So let's
No res.
Interesting. Maybe it's a Formicary.
Yeah, I would expect it to be a Formicary. Maybe a Magnet or a Formicary.
Yeah. Magnet at least. Well, Magnet you wouldn't have been able to break because it would have been. Well, you would have gone to 0.
Credits. You can just about break it.
Yeah, I still think Rezzing Magnet wouldn't have been bad. The only thing I can think of that you really wouldn't want to res there is Formicary. Swordham would have kept it out. Sandstone or Border Control would have. Magnet would have just been annoying, even.
We're going for the hostile.
Yeah.
Getting a Rococo counter. That's going to be helpful when we inevitably try and push the Clearinghouse. Which I think, if this Urban doesn't kill, it's going to turn into a Clearinghouse that's going to be pushed. And that will, I think, probably try and set up a kill.
Yeah. There might be another. Oh, wait. No, both Bladderworts are in the bin.
Mhm.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, I was gonna say that maybe the second skin as a class act, but might be saving. I think there's one more class act in the deck, so might just be saving that for whatever. I think here you might want to just start. It's probably not another Rococo there. No, it can't be something else. Maybe just thinking about Mavirus, or one of those might be the second clearinghouse. It's a lot of.
I think Mavirus that you pop for Marilyn is pretty likely here.
Yeah.
Oh,
I feel like our stream should be.
this is such a tiring game. Like, what? Even just watching Grudgework being played is so tiring. I think the only part of it that I find relaxing is playing it myself. Ooh, okay, we just wanted to spin stuff, and now we're going to put more threats on the board by excavating the Marilyn. Okay. Oh. Okay.
Ooh, going for another Rococo.
More threats.
Ooh.
Bags on the table.
You know what? Second Rococo probably means that's an Angelique on server 13 rather than the... Oh,
what?
What?
We are scoring an Azef here, I think.
Ooh.
But this is kind of a value Azef. Like, we're not killing, we're just taking the runner down to 0 cards.
Yeah, pretty good.
That means runner has to draw 4 times to survive the Urban, but then if there is a Hortum on the board, we can just put the last damage from the Clearinghouse on the board. This is so interesting. It's such an interesting play. I guess, I don't know, maybe Encoder is kind of worried about HQ pressure, so that's a way to get 2 points out of hand.
Yeah. I mean, it also could be that maybe they just didn't want to res the... Maybe it's like a Hortum on R&D, and they didn't want to show second skin that there was a Hortum.
Oh, that's possible. Yeah, that's very possible. You don't want to let your opponent know that something is afoot. Because there is a target.
Encoder's been playing this game extremely well, so it's like, again, like I feel like they would have rezzed a Formicary by now, so maybe it's just that there's the Hortum on R&D. And that's the game here. Oh man, this is a really cool game because it's like if server 13. Oh yeah, this is rough here.
I really don't know how you win the game as Sable against this deck still, except for like sniping agendas very early.
Yeah.
Like I have played it on both sides, and I think Cream has such a hard time here, even with the Maze Bones.
Yeah.
Even with the tricks.
Yeah, the only way I've been able to do it is like if you time your class acts right, but the problem is you want to play your class acts right away so you can get all your cards.
Makes sense. You think it's better to like hold them for a while?
I mean, not necessarily, but it's like that's the only like advantage you have really is having the class acts be able to save you from certain deaths. Yeah, and so that's the Sandstone.
We were hoping this was a Formicary here thing. We can't get through and trust it. Yeah, we're just dying to a Urban here.
Yeah.
Well played on both sides. I think this is such an uphill matchup for Krim. The match is going to continue with Miss Bost still having to sweep in order to win the whole, win their place in the further round of the bracket. So it's still going to be a high tension affair. I'm going to take 10 minutes to eat something right now.
Okay.
And your choice of whether you want to stream one of these games, like stream the last one, or there's Chris Driver's game in 10 minutes.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, why don't I just wait for Chris's game?
Okay, it's cool.
All right, I'll just leave it. Turn off my mic for now. Since nobody's on, I just wanna be able. But
okay, we're taking 10 minutes off, and now we're going to be back.
All right.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.